Fire, stop hiding your flat glutes. Fire, it's time to build power, shape, and confidence like never before. In this video, we're revealing the 5 most effective science-backed moves to grow, lift, and sculpt your glutes. No fluff, no gimmicks, just real training that delivers results. Collision: if your backside's been stuck flat, no matter how hard you train, this is your wake-up call. You're about to learn how to activate, overload, and transform your glutes with ATHLEAN-X precision. Get ready to train smart, build strong, and walk tall, because when your glutes fire right, you conquer everything. Peach Fire: the real reason your glutes stay flat, how poor activation and wrong exercise order kill glute growth, and how to fix it instantly. Most people think their glutes are flat because they just don't have the genetics for it, but that's not the truth. The real reason your glutes stay flat is because they're not actually doing the work they're supposed to. You can hammer out squats, lunges, and leg presses all day long, but if your glutes aren't firing correctly, those reps are just feeding your quads and hamstrings, not your backside. This is what I call glute amnesia. It's not that your glutes are lazy, it's that you've trained them to stay asleep. See, the glutes are a powerhouse muscle group, but they're also stubborn. They don't automatically engage just because you're moving your legs. Most people sit for hours every day, which shuts down the glutes and overactivates the hip flexors. So when you finally hit the gym and start doing lower body work, your body defaults to using the muscles it trusts most, the quads and hamstrings. The result: a flat, unresponsive glute that never fully develops, no matter how hard you push. To fix that, you've got to retrain your body to make the glutes the star of the show again. That starts with activation, getting those muscles to fire before your main lifts. You need to establish that mind-muscle connection and force the glutes to wake up. When you do, you'll instantly feel the difference. The burn hits deeper, your lifts feel more stable, and your power output jumps through the roof. This is where most people go wrong. They skip the prep work, thinking it's optional. It's not. Activation isn't a warm-up, it's a switch. Flip it on, and suddenly, your glutes start taking the load they're meant to. Ignore it, and you'll stay stuck with the same flat shape you started with. Glute Activation 101. Learn the critical pre-workout drills that wake up your glutes before lifting, priming for maximum muscle recruitment. Now that you understand why your glutes aren't firing, it's time to fix that, and this is where glute activation comes in. Think of activation as flipping the on switch before you train. If you go straight into heavy lifts without doing it, you're basically trying to drive a car without turning the key. Your engine's off, but you're flooring the gas pedal. You might move, but you're not going anywhere fast. Glute activation isn't about going heavy or fancy. It's about creating tension, precision, and control. The goal is to wake those muscles up and get them ready to perform. You want every rep in your workout to be done with your glutes leading the movement, not following along. When you get this right, you don't just feel the exercise, you own it. Start with small, intentional movements. Things like glute bridges, clamshells, kickbacks, or band walks. These aren't just filler exercises, they're your ignition. The key is to slow down and focus on the squeeze, the contraction at the top. You're teaching your nervous system that the glutes are the prime movers again. You'll know it's working when you feel that deep burn, not in your thighs, but right in the center of your glutes. That's your body saying, finally, we're online. Another big part of activation is sequence. You're not just warming up random muscles, you're preparing the exact ones that will drive performance in your main lifts. That means going from activation to compound moves seamlessly, keeping that muscle connection alive. Once your glutes are awake, it's game on. Every squat, deadlift, or lunge that follows will hit harder and build faster because your body is firing in the right order. Proven growth moves science, backed step-by-step breakdown of the top, exercises to lift, grow, and shape your booty covering form, tempo, and volume. Now that your glutes are finally firing the way they should, it's time to feed them the right kind of work, the moves that actually make them grow. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. They chase the burn, not the science. You can't just throw random exercises together and expect results. To build shape, strength, and size, you need to hit the glutes from every angle, top, middle, and lower fibers with precision and intent. There are 5 proven moves that consistently deliver real results: the hip thrust, Romanian deadlift, Bulgarian split squat, cable kickback, and step up. Each one targets a slightly different portion of the glute, and together they create a complete development plan. The hip thrust, for example, gives you that round, lifted shape by isolating and loading the glutes directly at full hip extension. That's where the real magic happens. The Romanian deadlift stretches and strengthens the glutes under tension, teaching them to generate power through the full range of motion. Then you've got the Bulgarian split squat, a brutal but effective unilateral move that exposes imbalances and forces each side to pull its weight. Cable kickbacks, they are perfect for precision work and carving in that upper glute detail. And step ups, one of the most underrated exercises, build functional strength while driving symmetry and coordination. The secret isn't just doing them, though. It's how you do them. Control every rep, focus on the stretch, and explode through the contraction. Don't let momentum steal your gains. Let tension build the shape. You don't need endless variations or complicated routines. You need consistency, correct execution, and progression. When you master these 5 moves and attack them with intent, you'll notice it not just in how your glutes look, but in how they perform. Every step, every lift, every movement will feel stronger and more powerful. Avoiding common mistakes, the 3 habits sabotaging your results, and how to correct them to finally trigger glute hypertrophy. Here's the part that separates people who make real progress from those who spin their wheels, avoiding the mistakes that kill your glute gains before they even start. It doesn't matter how good your exercise selection is or how many sets you do if you're reinforcing the wrong patterns every time you train. Most people don't fail because they aren't working hard. They fail because they're working hard in the wrong way. The first big mistake is letting your stronger muscles take over. If your quads and lower back are constantly stealing the tension, your glutes never get the stimulus they need to grow. This usually happens because people rush their reps, lose control, and shift the load away from where it should be. You have to own each rep, not just go through the motions. The second mistake is treating form like a suggestion instead of a standard. When your knees cave in during squats, your hips shoot up on deadlifts, or you lean too far forward on split squats, you're leaking power. That's not just wasted effort, that's glute engagement slipping right through your fingers. The glutes respond best when they're under consistent tension through the right angles. Clean form isn't optional, it's the foundation of real growth. The third mistake is skipping progressive overload. You can't keep lifting the same weight at the same speed for the same reps and expect anything to change. The body adapts. If you don't challenge it, it stops growing. That means adding weight, adding reps, slowing tempo, or pushing intensity over time. Growth isn't an accident. It's earned through structured progression. When you eliminate these 3 mistakes, everything else starts to click. Activation works better. The 5 core moves hit deeper, and your training finally pays off. This is the difference between training and transforming. Stop giving your effort away to bad habits. Lock in, execute with purpose, and make every rep count. Smart training strategy: how to structure your weekly plan to maximize glute recovery, growth, and long-term results. You've got the activation dialed in, your form is clean, and you're hitting the right moves, but here's where most people still fall short. They don't have a smart plan. You can't just crush your glutes every day and expect them to grow. Muscles don't build during your workout, they build when you recover from it. The trick is knowing how to balance intensity, frequency, and recovery so that every session moves you forward instead of breaking you down. The glutes are a big, powerful muscle group, and they can handle a good amount of volume, but they still need time to repair. Training them 2 to 3 times a week is the sweet spot for most people. That gives you enough stimulus to grow without running your body into the ground. Think of it like this. You want to hit them hard, rest just enough, then hit them again before they get lazy. It's about timing and consistency, not exhaustion. Within each week, structure your workouts to hit the glutes from different angles. One day might be heavy hip thrusts and deadlifts for strength. Another might focus on single, leg, or bodyweight movements for stability and balance. Finish your week with some high-rep, pump-style work to build endurance and definition. This variety keeps your glutes guessing and growing because the body only adapts to what you demand from it. And don't forget the recovery side. Sleep, nutrition, and mobility work are just as important as your sets and reps. You can't out-train poor recovery. If you're not fueling your body right or letting those muscles rest, you're slowing down your own progress. Treat your recovery like training. It's the other half of the work. When your training plan is built on strategy instead of randomness, everything starts to click. You stop guessing, start progressing, and every session builds on the last. Train with purpose, recover with intent, and your results will speak louder than your effort ever could. Glute power equals body power. Why stronger glutes aren't just for looks. They improve posture, athleticism, and total body performance. Here's the part most people overlook. Glute training isn't just about looks. Sure, building strong, round glutes changes how your body looks, but more importantly, it changes how your body works. The glutes are the foundation of power, speed, and stability. Every step, jump, lift, or sprint starts from there. When your glutes are strong, everything else performs better. When they're weak, everything else struggles to compensate. Think about it. Your glutes control hip extension, rotation, and balance, basically, the way you move through space. If they're underdeveloped, you're leaving strength on the table in every movement you do. That's why athletes, regardless of their sport, put so much focus on glute training. Whether it's sprinting down a field, jumping off the ground, or simply maintaining posture under load, the glutes drive performance. They're the powerhouse behind your stride, your lift, your posture, and your stability. But here's where it gets even more important. Strong glutes protect you from injury. Weak glutes lead to overworked hamstrings, tight hip flexors, and constant lower back pain. It's not just about the aesthetics, it's about performance longevity. When your glutes do their job, the rest of your body can finally move the way it's supposed to. This is why glute training should never be treated like an afterthought or just another leg day add-on. It's a core piece of functional strength. It changes how you walk, how you lift, and how you feel. You'll notice it in your posture, in your stability, even in your confidence. A strong foundation doesn't just make you look powerful, it makes you move with purpose. So, yes, shaping your glutes will change your appearance, but building them will change your performance, and that's the real win. If your glutes have been flat, lifeless, or stuck no matter how hard you've trained, that ends today. You now know exactly how to activate, train, and grow them the right way. No shortcuts, no wasted reps, just real results built on science and effort. Stay consistent, perfect your form, and watch your lower body transform week after week. Strong glutes don't just change how you look, they change how you move, perform, and feel. Own the process, trust the work, and build the kind of power that turns heads and conquers limits. Your transformation starts now.